You want to start or you want me to start? Welcome to the channel.
I'm Beck.
And I'm Nick. And we are Nick and Beck. That's the channel name for now. It might change down the road, who knows. I guess the main thing you guys are here for is the Sprinter van, not for us.
No.
But anyway.
Or a bonus. Here's a picture. It was a 2012 Mercedes Sprinter.
It has a 3-liter diesel.
It was a 12-person passenger van, and you'll see we remove all those passenger van features. We viewed one van, and we test drove one van, and we bought that van. We really only drove it like 10 kilometers an hour around a parking lot.
It was quite a test drive. The van was basically, it wouldn't go more than 50 kilometers an hour, so we got to drive it up and down a strip. I think it was just part of the parking lot. Yeah.
So overall, that is why, as you will see, we got the van delivered by a tow truck. We had to get it towed.
Hey, stay tuned. It's gonna be a lot of episodes coming out every Wednesday. We're gonna try to post a video. Let's get right into it.
Once the van was delivered, we ended up backing it into Nick's sister's backyard because that's where we were actually going to work on the van. But we realized it had the commercial backup beeper, which you can hear that lovely sound now, which I definitely think we will be getting rid of in the future. She's perfect. This deck is level.
Ramp you put into the carpet. Cool. I'm pretty happy.
It's level. The seat removal here looks pretty easy, but I'll show you kind of how we did it because we had a few challenges with rust and things like that. So here's a few clips explaining what we did.
There's this seat bracket right here, this thing. Supposedly if you lift these up, this right here, the seat will be able to be removed. There's a pin inside here that basically wraps around one of these. So there's a pin that just drops down in front. We gotta lift that pin up so the seat can slide back. This mechanism is supposed to do that. We just pull this little cap off, hammer out this, and lift the pin with a screwdriver because these are not working in our van. So I'll just, I'll show you how we did that.
So once we actually got the seats out, we had to use a grinder to get some of the inserts out. Some of the bolts were pretty stripped, so we kind of just cut them flat with the floor. And then while we were at it, we also did a little bit of treatment on the floor where there was rust. So we kind of grinded off the rust and then rust treated it and then painted over it.
we have this black template that we were able to use. So essentially, since this was a passenger van, there was a plastic floor in it already. So the plastic floor was perfectly shaped for the cutout on the floor that we wanted our new plywood floor to be. So basically all we had to do was trace that onto our plywood. So we traced that late last night and I got it cut out, and essentially the floor is perfect, it's ready to go. Really didn't, first try essentially, because we had the template. So this is what the floor looks like as of right now. So we're gonna have to add, I think there's like one little piece that has to fit right here. That's it. We were able to do this in 2 sheets of plywood. We have one full sheet here, we have a sliver, and then we have basically just another piece here. We have enough extra that we can put our little piece here that essentially just goes right on this edge of the passenger sliding door there. So, little update. We made some wiring looms. We ran some wire, but the biggest thing is we got some strapping on the walls. So here, you can see, this was our very first piece of strapping we installed. Actually, it's kind of a lie. We've installed many pieces.
That was like one of our last pieces.
We've installed quite a few pieces of strapping, and we've removed almost as many pieces of strapping. We put this piece in here, which is basically, that's going to be one edge of our window. So this little bit of window here, we're not actually going to use. And the same with that piece of strapping. That is also the edge of our window. Essentially, that right there is going to be the size of our window once the van is complete. Now some of you may be like, why would you get rid of your big windows? I'm going to be putting a garage in this back space. So like many people do, we're going to have a bed that's kind of a platform style bed so that you can insert like bikes from the back and have all the storage under the bed. Becky and I both think that that's kind of the best way we can build this van. And in doing that, if we don't frame out the windows like that, our bed's going to come to here. So all this glass here would essentially just be looking into the garage and our storage area underneath the bed. And we don't really think that that's necessary. So we're gonna probably paint or tape off or somehow deal with the windows that aren't being used so that you can't see from inside or outside the van rather. I'm gonna set the camera up on a time lapse. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna basically frame out this wall. So the first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put a wall here, or a stud rather, right here, which is gonna act as something we can attach our paneling to, our wall paneling, but also the side of our window frame can attach at this point as well. I'm gonna make sure this is dead straight, dead square with the floor. Took me the longest time really to figure out what I wanted to use as a plane to make things square. I'm not sure why I never clued into using the floor, but here I am, we're using the floor. Anybody else building a van, I highly suggest you use the floor as well. Reason being, the van's never going to be level. You're building it, I don't know, unless you have a perfectly flat driveway, which I don't, mine's actually on a lawn. But basically, yeah, the bed's going to be built off the floor, it's going to be square off the floor, everything's going to be square off the floor. So, gonna make sure that this is perfectly square, and then I'll put the other one over there as well, and I'll be able to put the top of the window on last. Let's get started. I've done it twice already, so hopefully this time goes a little smoother. I'm aiming to get out of here in the next hour, so. So as you can see, we're into winter. It snowed, but 2 or 3 days ago we got about 6-8 inches of snow. Some of it's melted already. It's not quite freezing. I think it's about 1 degree Celsius. My goals for today, I want to get the seats, sorry, not the seats, the floor mats back in the front. I want to get the wells, the foot wells that you step in to get in the vehicle. I want to get those back in the front. Main reason for that is when we go to install our floor, I want to know how far forward we need to bring our floor, because basically the front, we're keeping the original weather mat flooring in the front underneath the passenger and driver chair, and we need to make sure that our floor meets that at a good spot. In order to box in our wheel wells, I want to have them on top of the floor rather than try to cut the floor around the wheel well. The same thing with the walls. I want to have the walls on before I put the wheel well boxes on, because I think it'd be easier to put the wheel well box over a wall than it would be to cut the wall around a wheel well box. So yeah, I'm gonna put you guys on time lapse, run and grab the stuff out of the shed that we need, start working on the van. Let's get started. We got the van stripped, framed out, and I got a lot of the wires run. Basically all of the wires run.
So that's it for this video. Check in next time when we do our floor install. We do some finishing touches on wiring. We also build our wheel well boxes, sand and paint those, as well as start and hopefully finish insulating. That's kind of the goal. And who knows, maybe we'll even get some walls up and give you guys an update on what we're doing for the design, because it has changed a little bit as we've moved forward. So make sure you subscribe to our channel and turn on the notifications so you can follow along our van build journey. See you guys next week.